St. John Paul II, while visiting Denver, Colorado for World Youth Day in 1993, said this: "We are not the sum of our weaknesses and failures. We are the sum of the Father's love for us and our real capacity to become the image of his Son, Jesus. We are not the sum of our weaknesses and failures." Please repeat after me. I am not the sum of my weaknesses and failures. Repeat again. I am not the sum of my weaknesses and failures. I am the sum of the Father's love for me. The reality is, my brothers and sisters, is that many people truly believe that they are the sum of their weaknesses and failures, and they identify themselves by their weaknesses, their failures, and their brokenness. Today we read from Genesis chapter 18. You can go home and read it yourself. I encourage you to do so. Genesis chapter 18 and 19 are a powerful story. What we heard today was a story of a father's love, right? If there are 50 righteous people, will you destroy the city of Sodom and Gomorrah? I will not. If there are 45, I will not. If there are 40, I will not. If there are 30, I will not. If there are 10, I will not. But my dear brothers and sisters, what happens to Sodom and Gomorrah? It is destroyed. Why is Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? Because there was one house of faithful people, and God literally took them out of their house and then destroyed everyone else and the city. What was the sin of that city? It was the sin of sodomy. It was a city consumed by lust. And if we ask in a very true sense, why could God not work anything in that city? It's because the individuals who are trapped in that sin saw their identity only in their sin and in nothing else. They identified solely with their sin, and because of that, they were closed from ever identifying themselves as they truly were, which is a son or a daughter of God. Please repeat after me. I am not the son of my weaknesses. I am the sum of the Father's love for me. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed not particularly because of the sin of homosexuality. If someone has inclinations and desires for someone of the same sex, that person has no sin. The people of Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed because they chose to act upon sinful inclinations and to identify their whole entire being with it. My brothers and sisters, in a world right now where we have parades and festivals and pins and flags and ribbons, rejoicing and celebrating in the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah, we have to ask ourselves a question. What do we identify with? And who do we identify with? There are many of you who throughout your life have identified yourself with being a victim of abuse, someone who committed abortion, an adulterer, a liar, a thief, a pervert. There are many of you who, on the opposite side of the spectrum, have falsely identified yourself. Because you see, what's so true about labels is that labels make us less than what we really are. A label is less than what you really are. Even if I use a label of, I'm a really, really good runner. That's not who I am. I'm much more than that. Even if I make the label, I graduated from college, summa cum laude. That label is much less than what I truly am. You could win any award, any accolade, and that is so much less than what you really are. So whether it is your deepest or darkest sin or desire, or whether it is your greatest accomplishment, the reality is that labels make us much less than we ever really are. And yet how often we hide behind labels. And we allow labels to be the facade that keeps us from truly being who we are called to be, which is sons and daughters of a loving God. In our gospel passage today, Jesus teaches us to call God our Father, which makes every single person in this church a son or a daughter of a Father who loves them to the point of death. That is our truest identity. Not our sin, not our attractions, not our weaknesses, not our past, good or evil. Our experiences, our sin, our weaknesses, but also our strengths are not our true identity. Our true identity is that we are sons and daughters of an amazing Father who loves us to the point of shedding our blood. In a world of labels, we need to know what our label truly is. Let's pray for that grace tonight. Let's pray for the grace to know that we are not the sum of our weaknesses and our failures, but we are the sum of the Father's love for us. I know for a fact that there are people in this church tonight that struggle with all sorts of sins. Whether it be alcoholism, whether it be drugs, whether it be adultery, whether it be pornography, whether it be homosexuality. We are not the sum of our weaknesses. We are the sum of the Father's love for us. Let's pray that we may claim our identity. Let's pray that we will live it with joy, with hope, and with confidence.